Hey people, it is Wednesday, January the 15th. It is 3:05 in the afternoon and about minus 3 degrees Celsius, feeling more like minus 9 with the wind chill. We're already in the middle of January and I'm on Front Street, just a bit west of Yonge Street, but I'm going to walk east on Front Street from Yonge through the St. Lawrence Market area and beyond, pretty much to the end of Front Street. I might not follow Front Street the entire way, but I'll most likely walk at least as far as the River Street area, sort of in the far eastern side of downtown. So just crossing Yonge Street, you can see Sky Towers getting taller with every passing week. And there's a look north up Yonge into the heart of downtown towards Yonge and Dundas. You have the financial district right here. And now we're coming into the St. Lawrence Market area or neighborhood. Got a performance by the Toronto Symphony there. Here's Meridian Hall. Catch some good shows there. This might be my favorite downtown neighborhood. I get asked that question fairly often. And usually the St. Lawrence Market area comes to mind. The location is great. A mix of historic building stock with newer developments mixed in on a aesthetically pleasing way. The architecture is generally quite nice, even in the newer buildings. And it has the dog park here at Birksey Park is its actual name, the Dog Fountain, which you can see over there. All shut off for the winter, obviously. And there are awesome views of the surrounding city from inside Birksey Park. It's all around just an awesome spot to hang out. Maybe not so much in mid-January though. This area is also really popular with tourists. I think my main gripe about this stretch of Front Street is how narrow the sidewalks are right here, especially when it is busy. It's not so bad at the moment. Lots of 19th century storefronts here, some cast iron buildings. And of course the Flatiron, looking at it from the back. We'll get a look at the front of it in a moment. There's Church Street. There's another look at the famous Flatiron Building, also known as the Gooderham Building. The same Gooderham as Gooderham and Worts, one of the distilleries of Toronto history. You'll find some of the old buildings in the Distillery District. Looks like there's a film shoot going on here. This neighborhood is quite popular for movie or TV productions. Sometimes you can see a sign that will tell you what it is they're filming, but I don't see one. Guy has his own little weather pod there. Still walking past lots of these beautiful old historic buildings. That's what comes to mind when I think of this area. Here's a sign over here. Will this tell me what's filming? I don't think so. It says GUH, whatever that is. Oh well, if I come across some show that's set in these familiar streets, I'll probably realize what it was. Let's look down Market Street. It seems to be part of the film production, actually. And here's St. Lawrence Market. Even on a cold Wednesday in mid-January, it can be pretty busy around here. I think the busiest time to visit the market, though, is on the weekend. It's closed on Mondays. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, definitely busy time here at St. Lawrence Market. There's the new North Market building. It's nearing completion. It's taken years. Far longer than it should have, I think. There was an issue when it was just beginning excavation where they discovered an archaeological site and they had to shut down construction while they basically investigated. And that took, I think, a year and a half. Jarvis Street. And we got some light flurries coming down. The weather has been cold enough since we got our recent snowfall that it's mostly stayed on the ground It is gradually melting just from sunlight, but the temperatures aren't really speeding that along in any way. And I think we have some colder weather on the horizon too. Crossing George Street. Down there is the Esplanade. It's a nice mixed-use neighborhood. Have a look back at the financial district. So now we're going to be going in the more far eastern part of downtown here. Several new developments that have sprung up here in recent years. Nice to see more retail and restaurants adding to the streetscape. Make it a bit more interesting to walk along. I've been watching this tower rise from my apartment window. I have a pretty unobstructed view. It's one of my favorite new buildings going up in the city right now. I just like that it's red. Not a whole lot of red towers in the city. There are a few. We could use more color on the tall buildings that are springing up constantly. This will all be new retail. Still for lease. This building has just recently been completed. Nice wide new sidewalk here. Hopefully it won't take years for this to fill up. That's sometimes the case. Looks like someone went out of the way to keep this tree warm. Or maybe if anyone needs a scarf, they just left it there. I'm sure someone would appreciate that. Crossing Princess Street. This building is gargantuan. It's only about 30 stories tall, but it's massive in its footprint. It takes up what seems like almost an entire city block. I always joke about its name. It's called Time and Space because it took a long time to build it and it takes up a lot of space. Har har. I'll see myself out now. And I think this bizarre looking building is slated to be redeveloped. Looks like a bit of a Frankenstein. Another new tower on the rise. It's amazing how close it is to the office building right beside that was also just recently built. They're almost touching.
And then I don't know where it goes, but I think it goes one more place.
And this is one of the oldest parts of the city that actually predates the city of Toronto. This area was first built up as the town of York, starting from the late 18th century up until around 1833. And then in 1834, the town of York was renamed and incorporated as the city of Toronto. That's why so many things around Toronto have the York name in them, including 3 boroughs, a regional municipality, a street, a couple of neighborhoods, shopping malls, all sorts of things. Some major work underway here for the Ontario line. The new Corktown station. We're basically in Corktown now. I think once we pass Parliament Street, such an enormous footprint for this new subway station, though. And on this side as well. I'm not sure if there's residential that will be built along with the new station, like some towers or something. It would make sense, but I can't say for sure. All right, crossing Parliament. The Distillery District right over there. That's the Globe and Mail head office, that big office building in the middle of the shot. I think this is 51 Division of the Toronto Police, utilizing this awesome old historic building with modern additions tacked on, of course. So now we're in Corktown and things get a bit quieter in this far east side of downtown. This area is undergoing big changes and it's in a bit of a transitional stage right now. I think eventually it'll be a lot more bustling and won't feel quite so isolated, especially with the new subway line going through this area. And tons of new developments such as the Canary District. Right, I think I will get off of Front Street here. So I don't get run over. Because Front Street does continue on for a few more blocks, going through the Canary District, which is right there. But I recently did a walk through that area, so I won't repeat that again so soon. So now we're pivoting over here onto Eastern Avenue. And yeah, they still run the city sightseeing tour buses in the dead of winter. I imagine it's quite a lot less busy though. And those double-decker open-air buses aren't as prevalent, obviously, with the open top. Not sure if that guy was honking because maybe he watches the channel. Seemed like a friendly, hey there, honk. If it is you, hello. I used to call this the dealership district because there were so many auto dealerships, and there still are a few around, but some of them have closed and the area has been redeveloped. I think a lot of the dealerships have relocated over by the Don Valley Parkway and Dundas Street area. There's a cluster of them there in any case. here is Cherry Street. The snow is coming down a little bit harder now. Still flurries, but almost verging on a snowfall. The distillery loop over there for the streetcar. That's where it turns around. This area is a kind of a mix of industrial and very old residential, with new developments springing up on the periphery. And you have this iconic oddball here, the cube house as they call it. I think this development that is proposed to replace the cube house might be moving forward soon, and the future does not look good unless someone steps up and finds a way to relocate this bizarre looking building. I think it might meet the wrecker's ball, or the wrecking ball. I'll be sad to see it go if it does come to that. Hopefully it can be moved somewhere. It has been done before in many cases with other buildings. Usually those are historic old mansions and that sort of thing. But the cube house, I think, is worthy. There's nothing else like it in the city, or in the country for that matter. I think it's a bit similar to some of the buildings in Habitat in Montreal. So maybe Montreal does have that predates the cube house by a few decades, but it's not a contest or anything. Save the cube house is basically what I'm trying to say. So now we're walking along the northern edge of the Canary District. These old historic industrial buildings were almost destroyed a few years ago, but some local preservationists put up a fight and prevented that from happening. They're definitely in need of some renovation. Not much to look at right now, but maybe something cool will come along and make use of them. This area is a bit weird if you're on foot. If you go back 5-10 years, there was nothing here. And now it's a neighborhood of sorts. Still a work in progress. This is one of my favorite of the newer wave of condo buildings, just for its quirky design. Now we're going to go back up onto Eastern Avenue. Couldn't walk along it before because it basically turns into a big on-ramp without a proper sidewalk, but there is a path here, or a walking path that will take you back onto Eastern Avenue if you want to walk across the Don River. Got Underpass Park right here. Looks like some work is being done though. And I'm not going to walk over the river, but I am going to go up here onto the Eastern Avenue Bridge just to check out the awesome view of the skyline. Over there you can see where the river is, the rail corridor, and the Don Valley Parkway. And the Eastern Avenue Bridge. Oh, it is a bit foggy right now though. Oh well, nevertheless. See the buildings through the foggy conditions. It's basically like an expressway here with a sidewalk. Some more of the auto dealerships. They'd extend along the Don Valley Parkway from, I guess, down here up to around Dundas Street. These huge mega dealerships. There's a look towards the Regent Park neighborhood. There we go. You can see towers in the fog. So I think we're going to wrap up the walk here as we look at what we can make out of the skyline anyway. Yeah, we got the snow continuing to come down. I hope you enjoyed the walk along mostly Front Street, starting from Yonge Street. We made our way east through the St. Lawrence Market neighborhood and then into Corktown, passing by the Canary District and the Cube House. Save the Cube House. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under K Continuum. And if you're a pedestrian, this is as far as you can go. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue